Calling it a bacon is so funny. I'm gonna switch over soon. I have to find a BGM. Actually, maybe I don't. Let's switch over now. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Oh. Did you hear that? You can hear it. I can't hear it. Wait, I can't hear it. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. Okay, let's try it again. What? Huh? Why can't I hear it? Why is it that you guys can hear it, but I can't? Soundboard coming out from where? My headset. I'm not muted. What? You guys heard the yay, right? Right? Because the audio output is telling me that you guys heard that. Why can't I hear it? Okay. Whatever. Whatever. Alright. Well, you guys hear the BGM at least? How does it sound? Too loud? Too quiet? I don't know. Now I want to hear something because I can't hear the BGM. I never hear the BGM. You know? Okay, I'm gonna put something on. What? That's not fair. You guys can hear the yay, but I can't. I heard it this time. Let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm just gonna pick a random one. I don't know what the vibe is. We'll just pick a random one from the list. I accidentally cut the link instead of pasted it. Okay, I think it's okay. I think it is okay. I'm gonna go to my YouTube premium account and play it. Turn this one off. Let's adjust it. Alright. Let me know how this sounds, chat. Does it sound good? Sounds... the vibes... chill? Are we mad chillin'? Anyways, good evening, everybody. Full-time film critic. Not to brag. Part-time VTuber. I was the Multimedia sweetest devil, Mamana Boomi DESU. So I see you guys. Thank you guys for joining me for my movie night. That literally was just like 30... I guess maybe like 40 minutes ago by now. I hope you guys got like a nice little snack as we talk about the movie. This will be a pretty, I wouldn't say short stream, but I think we're aiming for an hour here. Let me go ahead. Probably thinking, what movie did you guys watch? Well, it's in the thumbnail, first and foremost. We watched Little Shop of Horrors for our community night tonight. Little Shop of Horrors. Have you guys... I'm gonna put a poll in. Have you watched Little Shop of Horrors? Yes. Black-white version. Sorry, I literally just thought of this. Yes. 1984. Was it 84? 86. 1986 version. Yes, 1986 version just now. And then, oh wait, no. Okay, I can't do that one. I have to do no. There's no room for it, the fifth option. No, yes. On stage. The stage play. The stage play. Stage play, one word. Whatever. Let me know. Okay, there we go. Have you guys seen this? Are you familiar with this IP? Let's see. monitoring output is probably directed to the wrong part. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Because it was to the right one. Yeah, I didn't even change anything when I pressed yay again. I was just suddenly able to hear it. You had an apple! Ooh, I hope you enjoyed your apple. I put my dishes away. I had my dinner ready when we watched the movie, and then I finally put it away during the break. You guys just watched the movie just now? No way, me too! You can mark it as you've watched the 1986 version. I wanted it to be both, like... If I could have a fifth option, I would want to know if you've seen it just now or if you've seen it before. We have somebody put down that they watched the black and white version. I literally had no idea that existed until I told Almondy that I wanted to do this community night. And she was like, oh, which one are you watching? I was like, I thought there's only one. The 1986 version, yes. I may have gotten the year. I'm pretty sure it's 1986. I might have gotten the year wrong. But it's definitely 80s version. I saw it when I was a kid originally. What did you think of the movie? I know in the Discord chat you said that like a lot of the things flew over your head, like the more suggestive jokes. I've told this story like 50 times already, but because this is the stream for it, I'm gonna tell it again. I saw this originally when I was in high school. My high school theater, they did a production of this play, and I wasn't really like the kind of person who would, you know, go to the theater productions. I didn't really have any friends in theater or anything, at least not that I remember. I think before this, I did go once to go see Romeo and Juliet, and it was a required thing to go see by our English class because, you know, we're reading the original text too. So now, like, I remember like watching Romeo and Juliet and just being like, dude, like, I don't know. I find plays to be kind of draining to sit through. Not in a bad way, but I think it just requires more effort than watching a movie, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But I don't know like what compelled me to go to the play again, because it's like Romeo and Juliet. I thought it was like kind of long, kind of draining, and then on top of that, like, I can't really understand like Romeo and Juliet reading it, hearing it, and like not being able to like see subtitles or like, you know, follow along with the text, like made it even worse. And so it seems, I don't know, I feel like it was sort of like a stroke of luck, a fate, a string of fate that made me go watch this. I watched it, and I remember leaving thinking like, wow, that was actually quite good. I don't remember if our production, I think our high school production might have done the original ending. And if you don't know, the original theatrical ending ends on a far darker note, and we'll actually take a look at it. I found some clips that we can take a look at, but we'll talk about that later in a bit. So maybe the darker ending, they did that, and I might have left thinking like, wow, you know, it wasn't a happy ending. And at that age, you know, when you're a teenager, at least for me, I was just like very contrarian. Anything that ended on a non-traditional ending, I was like, oh, 5 stars. You've subverted my expectations. Congratulations. Whoa. So maybe that's why I enjoyed the play. Well, anyways, I was flipping through the channel a couple days later, maybe a couple weeks later, but it wasn't too far off from watching the play. And I remember watching it, and I saw little Rick Moranis right there, and I was like, wait a second, isn't that Barney from the Flintstones? I don't really watch like a lot of like Rick I keep trying to say Mick Moranis. Rick Moranis movies, but the Flintstones live action movie, have you guys seen that one? That's a classic in my house. Honestly, I should probably do a movie night for that one, because I rewatched it a couple years ago and it was still like just as fun as I remember. The sets in that is crazy. But I loved Barney as a kid. I mean, both the dinosaur and like Rick Moranis' Barney. I don't think I really watched the Flintstones cartoon, now that I think about it. I think I like just really watched the live action movie. I've never watched it. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, all right. We'll have to squeeze that in one of these days. I loved Barney in there. I was like, oh my gosh, he seems like such a nice guy. Yeah, I don't know. So when I was flipping through the channels and I saw him on Little Shop of Horrors, I was like, oh, that's Barney. And then, you know, like the street urchins, the chorus of girls that were singing, you had young Rochelle from Everybody Hates Chris. Everybody Hates Chris was also a classic in my house, same as My Wife and Kids. I don't remember the character's name from My Wife and Kids, but I know that she was also Peaches in Everybody Hates Chris, both of them as the chorus. And I think she was also like the wife or like girlfriend in Martin. I didn't really watch a lot of Martin. These are like, I guess you could say classic black sitcoms. But I was like, okay, Everybody Hates Chris, 2 for 2. I kept watching. And of course, like, I already liked the story too. I watched the whole thing and I finished the movie. And I do think I remember being a little bit confused about the endings because they do differ a lot. And yeah, I really don't remember much else. I just remember thinking like, that was nice, that was cool. Didn't really watch anything else about this again, like I had probably watched this like a decade ago, this movie. Such a long time ago. But the songs did stay on repeat. They were in the rotation. Let's see, how about we end the poll? So you guys, let's see. 20% of you guys have seen the black and white version. That's crazy. I had no idea that was a thing. I'm very curious to see that what the differences are if the black and white version used like a theatrical ending. If you were voted for the black and white version, yes or no, did they use the dark ending? Don't say what it is, but yes or no, did they use the dark ending? Nobody has seen the play, which is interesting, but I guess it's to be expected. I feel like it's not very common to go out to see a musical. And I'm very lucky to live in a place, I guess the place, to go watch musicals and theater. And I've been really enjoying like, you know, stepping out of my comfort zone and doing that, because it's usually not something that I would be like, oh, I want to go see it. But after the first couple ones that I've gone to, I was like, wait, this is... I don't know, it's very interesting to see a live performance. It definitely hits a lot differently. And we'll talk about each character. We'll compare and contrast based on what I've seen. I've seen them all, but the black and white is my favorite. Yes. Oh yes, so they did do the dark ending in that one. Everyone but the play. I see. Let's see, 40% of you guys have seen the 1986 version, which makes sense, we just watched it together. And then the other 40% of you guys have not seen the movie or the plays. Well, spoiler alert, okay? Alright, spoiler alert here. I mean, to be fair, it's such an old movie. But then again, a lot of people have not really heard of this, and I don't think I would have heard of this unless gosh, what was I saying? I don't think I would have heard of it if I didn't go to that high school play. I don't think I would have heard of it at all. Where's the Boomi version? Should I do a theatrical soundtrack? A cover of the entire soundtrack? Little Shop of Boomers? And I play every single role? It'd just be like an hour of my voice cracking, to be honest. I don't have the pipes for this. I know they made a Little Shop cartoon. Oh, really? I know Bia, my manager, was telling me about a little pet shop of horrors. And that the plot seems similar. But I don't know if they're like based, if they took inspiration from it or not. Little Shop of Horrors cartoon. I didn't know about that. Anyways, I'm gonna end And the poll here, 14% seen the black and white version, 43% have seen the 1986 version, nobody has seen the stage play, and 43% have not seen this IP at all. Alright, okay. Well, like I said, spoiler alert going forward. Not Littlest Pet Shop, the Little Shop. Oh, so they do have like a Little Shop of Horrors cartoon. Bia was saying that they had a Little Pet Shop of Horrors. So not Littlest Pet Shops, but Little Pet Shop of Horror anime. Okay, so why did I go see the Broadway show? Okay, it's been on my watch list for a long time. Like I said, I'm not really huge into like theater or like plays and stuff. Really, the only thing that pushed me to go see it, I mean, like when you go to New York, like you're supposed to go see a Broadway play, right? So I was always been like pretty curious about it. Like I said, I've only seen the high school productions, but I mean, it was like not something that really stuck to memory for me. So when I first moved here, the very first play I went to go watch was the Book of Mormon, because you know me, I love South Park. Book of Mormon was really, really great, and I was really impressed by like not just like the performance or like the story itself, but seeing all the moving pieces come together. So like seeing the set changes, seeing, you know, like experiencing like acting live and like singing live and just experiencing it with the crowd. It was really fun. The next two plays I went to go see was An Enemy of the People and Glengarry Glen Ross. Both of them I went to go see because, like I said, I love Succession, and two of the primary characters were starring on those stage plays, so I went to go see that. But they were, you know, I guess like they weren't musicals, and I think they were a bit more serious. So it was also really interesting to see, I don't know, like Glengarry Glen Ross is also a movie, you know, and I don't know, it's just really interesting to see like how it's tackled differently, like how they approach things, and then also like seeing these these actors who played characters that I love so much on a show that I've watched like back and forth like 4 or 5 times already, and being able to see like those mannerisms and stuff, and like them pull out like intense emotions just right before your very eyes. It's like a magic trick. It's crazy. So I really enjoy. I think I'm starting to enjoy theater. I don't know if I'm gonna become like a theater kid, probably not, but like if there's a good show out, I think that I don't know, I'm definitely more open to it than before. Anyways, can I do SpongeBob next? SpongeBob. Is SpongeBob like what? We're gonna go. Wait, what was I saying? I wanted to watch this for a year and a half. Yes, I wanted to watch this for like a year and a half. Good thing I have notes, or else I would get so distracted. After I saw Book of Mormon, and then I got like those two like stunt casting plays out of the way, I finally was like, okay, next up, Little Shop of Horrors. The last one on my bucket list is The Lion King, actually. Yeah, I've been wanting to see The Lion King ever since I was like 8 years old, when they had Disney 365, and they did like a backstage on The Lion King on Broadway, and I was like, this is so cool. That's the last one that I need to go see. But anyways, Little Shop of Horrors. I wanted to go see it earlier this year, but once I started going to Japan, I was just kind of like, oh. Once I knew that I was going to go to Japan, I was like, I don't know if I can like really squeeze this in, you know? I wanted to go especially then, but I got, like I said, I didn't know if I wanted to squeeze it in. And I wanted to go especially then because they had Corbin Bleu as Seymour. If you don't know him, he was Chad on High School Musical, the guy with the afro from High School Musical. And then he was also in, what was it called? Jump In? Wasn't that? Wasn't it called Jump In? The one where the jump rope one? Wait, what was the song? What was the song from Jump In? You gotta push it to the limit, cause you're in it to win it, in it to win it. Oh yeah, something like that. Gotta work it out, Work it out. I really wanted to go see Corbin Bleu as Seymour. And I think they had, oh gosh, I don't remember the girl's name. She was the older daughter in Modern Family. She was Audrey, and I was like, this is pretty good. And I think before that they also had the mom from Fresh Off the Boat. I forgot her name too, but they also had her being Audrey before too. Missed both of them, and I was just like, oh well, you know, it's whatever. And for me, I think a big draw for who's being casted is Audrey, because you know, I love Suddenly Seymour. That's like my song. That's my jam. Why do I keep saying we? I saw that they were doing Liz Gillies from Victorious. She played Jade on Victorious. I wasn't like huge into Victorious, but my brother was, so like it was always on in the background. But I knew this girl had pipes. I knew she could sing. I've been like kind of like from the periphery, like keeping up with the stuff that she does, and like if she's singing anything, right? I love her voice. Once I saw that she was casted as Audrey, I was like, okay, I gotta go. I can't miss it like I missed Corbin Bleu, because I was so sad when I didn't miss Corbin Bleu. I almost ended up missing her actually, but she extended her run. Because I think it was supposed to end in June, and I didn't buy a ticket in time, especially with like Offkai coming up. But she extended her run until the end of the month, end of July. I think throughout June she was with Milo Manheim as Seymour, who I think was like, when I was reading the Broadway subreddit to like prepare for the show, they were talking about like how this guy had a lot of like fangirls and stuff. Oh, this guy's from, okay, this was like after my DCOM age, but he was in Zombies 2, Zombies 2, Zombies 3. I think he is the zombie in the Disney Channel Zombies movie. No, it's a movie. I've heard of it before. But people were talking about like, you know, his Seymour is like really tall, really gangly, so he had like a lot of good, we call it, like physical performance. But he ended his run back in June, at the end of June. So in July, they had Graham Phillips take over. Let me look this guy. I don't have to read the playbill. Graham Phillips. Oh my god. Was this guy Ben 10 in the Ben 10 live action movie? This guy was Ben 10 in the Ben 10 action. Okay, so if you guys remember the very first Ben 10 live action movie, Ben 10 The Race Against Time, Graham Phillips is the Ben 10 from Ben 10 The Race Against Time. There's a Ben 10, I think there's a couple, is there not? I only watched the Ben 10 when he was a kid. I was not really very interested in like the Ben 10s. Like I know people say that Ben 10 when he was older is like the better one, but I like the, I don't know, I didn't like, what is it called? Omniverse? I watched the original Ben 10 is what I'm saying. He was also in Riverdale, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really too familiar with them, but I am very familiar with Liz Gillies, at least her from Victorious, and then she was also in, no, she was in like some other stuff after. I know that she did a couple of albums with Seth MacFarlane, like singing with the creator of Family Guy. Let's see, she was in a show called Dynasty, a show called Killing Daddy, maybe it's a movie. She was in Winx Club. Anyways, we'll watch some clips of her performance in a second. Yeah, once I saw that she was casted as Audrey, I was like, I really want to go see her, and I don't think that I would have if they didn't do this flash sale for the 4th of July during the heat wave. They had like 50% off the tickets. So I went on a random Wednesday evening, well, last Wednesday evening, a random Wednesday evening. Tickets were $50. Actually $48. It was $50 after the fee. And yeah, Yeah, I bought them like a month ago. It was actually, like, when I bought the tickets, I had free reign over whatever seats, but like the cheapest ones were of course in the back. So I was like, you know what? This theater is really small actually too. Wait, I wonder, let's see. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. West Side Theater. So this is an off-Broadway play. I think Broadway plays are like a connection of like theaters, and I think West Side Theater is, you know, it's a play and it's in the theater district, but it's not like within their like circuit, I guess. I'm still learning this stuff, so I'm not quite sure. But the seat view, let me show you the view that I had. So I sat in the very back row. Wait, this is what? Seat 107. I think I don't even remember what it was. Maybe mine wasn't like this close. But I mean, no matter where you sit, you have a pretty solid seat, I think. I mean, of course you have the best seat if you're sitting in the front, but I was sitting in the very last row. And yeah, maybe it was like this. It was like this. It's a little bit of a top... Wait, oh my gosh, it's like covering my face. Let me move myself up a little bit. You know what? Let's bring this. Shoot. Okay, let me just move myself up. Like that. Sorry, now I'm in the way. I'll go right here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty good seat. They lift this curtain up, and behind that you have the set. Oh, sorry, you can't see my cursor, but yeah, they'll lift that up. But yeah, last row, it's pretty solid view. Wait, let me, if I zoom in a little, wait, I can zoom in like this. Oh, yeah, so I can see better. Yeah, pretty solid. It's a very small theater. Yeah, okay. Time to actually talk about the show. So it was really packed. When I bought the tickets, I mean, I didn't expect it to be empty, but I don't know, I thought maybe there would be like some free seats, because I bought it like as soon as I could, and I thought like, maybe it's stupid of me to think this, I thought like, oh, you know, I'm buying it early and like there's still so many to pick from. I thought this would have like, you know, super sold out, but it was packed. Every single seat was filled. It was mostly just like young girls, like girls in their early 20s, and like theater nerds, of course, too. And a lot of people on dates too. People were actually dressed quite nice, and I was like, oh, am I like a little bit underdressed for this? I was wearing like because it was really hot earlier that day. I was wearing a tank top and like a long skirt. Definitely looked a little bit, maybe a little bit like summery. And some people were dressed up for, you know, date night. And I was like, oh, jeez. But they didn't say anything. I was a little bit worried that they might have a dress code, but I don't think so. I don't think that's a thing. But yeah, last row, I saw everything. Very small theater, but it was really nice that you could pick whatever seat you want and still have a good view. For a Book of Mormon, not like that. I was sat behind the tall guy. I was like, you know, cracking my neck trying to see behind him. But yeah. If you saw the movie, you know that the script is very, very campy. I thought that was really fun. Let's see. Let me grab my full notes. Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes, I'm just going through. I'm scrolling through to see which parts. Tickets have off. Okay, packed theater, which is funny because the tickets were pretty sparse when I bought them. I put down a few days before, but then Actually, no, I did buy because it went on sale a week before. I'm thinking about my Superman tickets that I bought a long time ago. No, this was like a flash sale, so I had to buy them for the week before, and the tickets were sparse. That's why I was thinking like, oh, I wonder if it's gonna be a lot of people there or not. But yeah, mostly girls in their 20s. I was in the very last row. Yes. After that, I just go straight into praising Liz Gillies as Audrey. I put down that she is amazing. And mind you, I wrote these notes before our movie night just now, okay? So I might make some comparisons, but I said that I think the movie version, which is played by, I believe, Ellen Green. Wait, let me pull up the whole cast list for this one. Letitia Force. Yes, Ellen Green. I feel like her Audrey is a lot more ditzy, whereas Liz Gillies' Audrey is a lot more of a baddie. Like I wrote down like for when we were watching this, that let's see, this Audrey is so like you know, like the pleading emoji, the one's like. I wrote down that she feels more like that emoji. It's called PM. I call it PM. PM is the Japanese name for it. Ellen Green Audrey is PM, and then Liz Gillies Audrey is like the stiletto emoji. But I did write down that in the movie, it feels like Audrey and Seymour are like two weirdos that like fall in love with each other, you know, that found each other, and it's like, you know, cute because they're both like weird. Whereas the Broadway play feels more like, you know, the cool girl and the nerd finally getting together. Seymour from the play was, I feel like he was more like, actually, like he had like the nasally voice too. He was putting on the nasally voice, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. And I feel like the Seymour in the movie feels more of just like, I don't know, like just like a soft boy, you know, maybe a little bit of a sway boy, a little bit of a little beta. Let's see. Anyways, I wrote down that Somewhere That's Green, and we're gonna watch that in a second. Somewhere That's Green actually made me tear up because like Liz's acting, she was just like even from all the way in the back, you know, I couldn't really see her expressions like too much, but it's in like her body language and like the small cracks in her voice. She took pauses to like look at her broken arm. I was like, wow, like she's really doing like her acting chops here. She's really showing off like how good of an actress she is. Let's watch that. Let's watch that. Can't go here. And then wait, let me turn down the BGM. Now let's bring this down. Then let's watch it. All right. Cool. All right, this is going well.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sadist. So I got a black eye and my arms in a cast. Still that Seymour's a cutie. Well, if not, he's got inner beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together at last.
Okay, before she continues, I want to point out a couple things. I think one thing, it was cool to see, maybe I could combine these two thoughts. Thinking, calculating. I think it's really interesting to see the urchins play a bigger role in the play. Like you can see like their reactions to her calling Seymour cute, right? I think in the movie they're a lot more passive because you could actually have like more background actors in the movie, but they had such a bigger role in the play. They're actually featured in nearly every song, because they are the background actors. They are the chorus. They are the ones that are reacting to what's happening in the show. Not only that I thought was fun, but because they have so much more screen time, and because like, you know, you're not framing a shot on the play, right? You like everybody is doing something constantly as long as they're on the stage. You get to see like the small little nuances to each of their characters. Like some of them is like sassy, some of them is flirty. It was really interesting to see like these characters who don't even have names, like they're just a collective of urchins, but they still have like enough individuality and just the small movements, you know, to make you think like, oh, what is their character, right?
Well, if not, he's got inner beauty. And I dream of a place where we could be together at last.
And another thing,
What kind of a place is that, honey? An emergency room?
Oh, no. It's just a daydream of mine. A little development I dream of just off the interstate.
they don't
And
really
not
do like a
fancy,
lot of
Levittown.
set
Just
switches, right? It's just
a little
all,
street,
most of it
little
is like right in
suburb,
front of the
far,
shop.
far from urban Skid Row. The sweetest, greenest place where everybody has the same little lawn out front and the same little flagstone patio out back. And then all the houses are so neat and pretty because they all look just alike. Aw, I dream about it all the time. Just me and the toaster and a sweet little guy. Like Seymour.
A matchbox of our own.
A fence
Of real chain link. A gorilla out on the patio. Disposal in the sink. A washer and a dryer and an ironing machine. In a tract house that we share, somewhere that's green. He rakes and trims the grass.
Yeah.
loves to mow and weed.
I don't know if I should play the whole thing. I don't think I'm gonna play the whole thing, but let me go towards the end to the part that I'm talking about. But you know, like I said, there's not like a lot of sets in here. So, and like I said, not like a lot of room for background actors. So a lot of the story happens on the stoop, and you have a lot more interactions between characters, and I think like they tell things like, you know, for this part they're saying it through like her daydream, right? With their house, right? I think this one kind of have to imagine it more, and I kind of remember like, you know, picturing it and stuff, and they're using like their body language to sell it, I guess, to sell the extra emotion, because you can only do so much just like on a live stage, right?
Big, enormous, 12-inch screen. I'm his December bride. He's father, he knows best. The kids watch howdy doody as the sun sets in the west. A picture out of better homes and gardens magazine. Far from Skid Row.
Look at her shake. Oh my god.
I dream we'll go somewhere that's green.
Wow. I think what I do like about, you know, them having to all, you know, be here together. I don't know. I feel like, to me, I like the Broadway version of this song, or like how they tell this song, because I like the fact that Audrey has to tell the urchins versus just like her imagining it when she's at home. And then, you know, you can kind of, she's not living in that fantasy like you see her doing in the movie. You actually kind of have, like I said, you can see like the worry in her face. Like, I don't think Seymour would pick someone like me. You can see like her becoming hopeful, and like I said, when she takes a look at her arm, she takes a small look around and she like realizes like, oh, this is the life that I live. Like, she comes back to terms, comes back to reality. You see all of that play out. And I feel like that makes it so much more impactful than you know, just doing like a flash forward, like a daydream essentially. Like, just look at how she looks around. She looks at them, she looks at the store, she looks at her arm, reels into the situation that she's in, and just go. as I'm talking about it, I'm just like, wow. Man discovers higher thought for the first time. You know, like she's going from like skeptical to really diving into the fantasy, getting pulled out of that fantasy again, and then coping with it and just being like, well, you know, it's just a fantasy after all. It's not like I can get a guy like Seymour. Yes, it was originally. So when was the play written? I would like to. I wonder if they have like any like of the original performances. That's another thing that I always thought about plays too, was that it's kind of a shame that
Raphael Alegria subscribed to the channel.
Raphael, thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. Welcome to Boomer Summit. I hope you have a nice day here. Yeah, they had the play. Like you can't record Broadway plays, of course. Of course they have like these official recordings, but I always thought like, man, imagine one night you like really knock it out of the park, but it's just lost forever. But maybe that's something that an actor likes. I'm sure that it's like, you know, for TV actors to like shift into something like this, it must be a bit of a challenge, but I don't know. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Like, yeah, if you give it that performance of your life, it's gone. But then again, it must be nice for it to be a moment between you and the audience and like the people on the production team. Anyways. Let's get the BPM back on. Yeah, so like I said, she is awesome as Audrey. I really liked watching Liz Gillies' performance. I thought, like, you know, I think a lot of people think that with like a stunt casting and stuff, you're only gonna see the character that they're most known for. But I mean, I don't know. To me, she felt like Audrey, even if the only other Audrey that I knew, I don't remember the high school production one, but I do remember the movie one. And I think a lot of people know Ellen Green's Audrey, just being that voice, you know, that voice. Very ditzy, very like baby girl. I had no expectations for what I was gonna see as for Liz Gillies as Audrey, but I don't know, I really liked it. I really like seeing like a more like rough, edgy kind of Audrey. Another thought that I thought while I was watching this movie was, I know people are talking about a live action Hercules. If they do make it, she would kill it as Megara. If they don't kill the script first. As long as they don't kill the script. I was thinking like I would love to see her as Meg. Oh my gosh. But yeah, let's see. Seymour was also really great. Like I said, he's more of a actually kind of nerd. I don't think I have any clips of his songs. Yeah, I do not. I mean, I could probably look at their, but you could probably look at their YouTube channel on your own, and see. Let's see. What was their most recently uploaded ones? No, they only have it with Milo Manheim. But yeah. Let's keep going. The Dentist. Oh my god, Oren the Dentist was hilarious. He was actually so good. He had a very like quirky charisma. I think Steve Martin plays the dentist as very like cool, tough guy, greaser, like very like Elvis impersonation, even down to the singing. Oh god, who played Elvis? I gotta look at the playbill. I think he played other people too towards the end, like some of the people who are telling Seymour like, oh, sign this, sign that, sign this, sign that. It was played by Jeremy Kushner. Jeremy Kushner is a crazy motherfucker, dude. Despite how he plays his character alone, he's so crazy. He like imagine he had like Steve Martin's like charisma and like swagger, but he dialed that up even higher. I would say like to like Jim Carrey's level of physical humor, you know? There was a scene, like, okay, so you know when Oren the dentist, he first like meets Seymour and he's like, wait a second, I know you. I think Steve Martin does it a little bit more like, I would say subtle, but Jeremy Kushner, he does it like it's such an extreme. He goes like, I don't even know how I don't even know how to explain it. Just imagine like Jim Carrey, okay? Like Jim Carrey meets this Elvis impersonation, maybe like a little bit of like Conan O'Brien wackiness. Yeah, he's so fun. There's like a scene when Seymour is gonna go in to, you know, kill him. He arrives at the dentist's office, which was a cool set change. Okay, they didn't really change the set. They just brought down a bloody curtain down over the stage to cover the shop, the floral shop set. Bloody curtain, and they brought out the dentist chair. When Seymour walks in, Oren is like, I guess he's doing laughing gas behind the curtain. I don't know. But Seymour walks in. Oren, his head, he peeks out from the curtain, just his head. And it goes like as low as he can go, basically. I was like, is he on a machine or something? But he walks straight back out like a cartoon character. That's what it is. It's very cartoonish, very cartoonish. I feel like in the movie, it's like a little bit more of like a tough guy, you know, greaser, Elvis. But this one's like a cartoon in physicality, like not, I wouldn't say tough. I would say he's more himbo coded than tough guy coded, now that I think about it. Charisma rizzing it up. He was, yeah. I wouldn't say it was hard to hate him because, I mean, you know, he's a women beater, but he's a very like lovable character to hate in this one. You love to hate this guy because he's such like an over-exaggerated dickhead. Let's see. The Audrey 2 puppet was also, wait, I think, let me go back to my notes. Instead of reading off of I have organized notes and then I have like my sporadic notes. Okay, so we did talk about Audrey, we did talk about Seymour, the dentist. Yeah, like I said, he's a himbo, a very, very physical acting. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Seymour, is he a victim, a villain, or do you think he's just pathetic? Let's add that in there. Alright. Oh, I wish I could vote in this poll. It's okay. I'll see. I love this movie. One of my favorite horror comedies. It's so great, isn't it? I'm comparing it to the off-Broadway production that I got to see last Wednesday. Been kind of yapping. All right, I wanted this to be like an hour, but I'll try not to get too off topic. But yeah, do you think Seymour is a victim of a situation, a villain in the situation, or just, you know, pathetic? Pathetic. Maybe he should have done something better. Dentist, awesome. Let's see. The urchins, like I said, were super duper fun to watch. I wrote down here, I don't remember how involved they were in the movie. Now that we've seen it, it doesn't really feel like they're like that involved at all. Like I said, and like I showed in the other clip, it was really fun to watch them on the stage play because, you know, no one is ever really off screen. So you get to see how every single character honestly reacts to everything and see like little nuances in their personality. I do feel like in the play, because they also had so much more screen time, like I said, there's no background actors. There's like 2 hobos in the beginning, and then I think they probably had like a couple of people switch out for the like clamoring people who want to make an offer with Seymour at the end. But yeah, because there's like not a lot of background actors for this production, which I think is like pretty standard for plays. You have a pretty tight cast. The urchins were supporting in almost every single song. I wonder if I could count how many, or would there be too many to count? I have to get to the page first. Maybe I'll leave this bookmark in here. Let's see, they're in 2, 3. I think they're like only not in 4, 5. Like they're only not in 5 songs out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Out of 18 songs, they only don't make an appearance in 5 of them. So they're pretty involved as like, you know, like reactionaries in the play. So seeing like their subtle differences in like how they react to, even like, because I first noticed that, I don't know if like one of the girls was flirting with the hobo, but I know that the hobo made her laugh, and then she was like kind of, I think she was twirling her hair after, but I was like, whoa, what is that? That's when I was like, you know, remembering like, oh, I should be paying attention to everybody's reactions too. I might be in for a treat with that. But yeah, it was really cool to see the urchins. And then let me talk about the puppets, and then we'll turn the convo back to Seymour. I wrote down that Audrey 2 is just like the movie, but now after watching the movie, I don't know if I agree with that so much anymore, and I don't really know why. But I think maybe because the movie feels, I don't know. I think the play is longer too, but the play does feel like you're sort of sitting with everything for a lot longer too. Maybe I did feel that Audrey 2 was like a little bit more, I wouldn't say flashed out, but yeah. But it was really cool to see the plant grow bigger and bigger. One thing that I did notice was that I think in the movie, seeing the plant grow was like more of like a, you know, showing time pass, I guess. I don't know. But like, I felt like it was much more of a spectacle on the stage play. But because I think it kind of is, you know, they're like, oh, how did we get this giant plant here? Well, I guess not really, because they obviously do it during like the scene like switches kind of thing. Like when they're at the dentist, right? They're putting in the bigger plant and the bigger puppet in there. But it definitely feels more like a spectacle every time they reveal Audrey 2 getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you really do kind of feel a little bit of like a doom, you know? Like they had some puppetry. So in the song Grow For Me, right? Yeah, in the song Grow For Me, Seymour's carrying the puppet around in a small little pot, and then he puts it on the clerk desk, and that's when he kind of starts seeing the puppet start to move and grow. Actually, one interesting thing that I noticed that was the difference was I do think that the movie is a little bit less jokey than the play, believe it or not, too. Let's see. So you had the guy come in and bring roses, right? And like I said, nothing is off what do you call it? Off screen. on the stage. So you do see the guy like walking past the flower shop. He like stops at the window. He's like, oh, does like a whole like about face, looks at the plant, and he goes straight in. Ding, 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 ding. Hi, I like to buy that strange and interesting plant, or whatever he says, you know. That's a mighty strange and interesting plant you have there, kind of thing. I don't know, it's just really fun to see like the physicality. Like everybody acts very cartoonish on the stage play, and I think that adds a lot to the humor. Speaking of cartoonish, he also got pricked by the rose that he was given, right? And he was like, did he scream? I think he had a super over-exaggerated reaction. He's like, oh my god, right? Like this super over-exaggerated reaction, long, and just like, oh gosh. It's a long reaction. And you know, immediately composes himself and he's like, okay, thank you, have a nice day. It's like those kinds of things, like that kind of humor, which is fun. It was really fun to see that. Yeah. And then that same flower is what pricks Seymour later, and I thought that was an interesting detail of foreshadowing that they did on the stage play versus the movie. Yes. Anyways, let's turn the conversation back to Seymour, or else I'll get like too nitty-gritty about talking about the differences. He's a main character who doesn't realize he is a supporting character. Let's see, let's take a look at the poll. We have 40% saying he's a victim, 20% saying he's the villain, and 40% saying he's pathetic. If I could vote, I would also say he is pathetic. He's mostly a tragic character that gets easily manipulated. Like, it starts with him giving his blood, but he was convinced to feed Audrey 2 to the dentist because he was a bad person to justify it. That is, yes, exactly. And he's like, I don't know, just swayed by his emotions, I guess. I feel like, I mean, I get it. It's like not a serious story, but hacking somebody alive, like, okay, you probably could have just thrown his body into the plant. Everybody else did not get hacked alive. It was just the dentist that got hacked alive, actually. And if I show you the dark version of the ending, now that I think about it, plot hole, question mark, unless they just save his head. Should we go straight into the dark ending? Let's do it. Let's talk about the dark ending. I talked about it in my notes. Yeah, so in the dark ending, everybody dies. Everybody dies. I wrote down, I did not expect everyone to die in the end. I knew that the movie had a happier ending to test more positively with audiences, but yeah, I was like sad face when Audrey was fed to the plant. I feel like my high school's production ended like this too, which is why I liked it. I was at that age where you're craving anything but a happy ending. Boomi approve. I would totally watch this again and see how a different cast approaches the characters. Maybe only with discounted tickets though. Let me show you guys. They do have the dark ending for the movie. So we'll be watching that. They have an alternate version for the movie. But like I said, I think people wanted a happy ending, so they didn't stick with this at the end. I wonder if I should have spoiled it. Maybe I should have just let you guys watch it. But I think this does happen differently as well. Wait, let me shut off the other BGM. I forgot about that. Sorry, it's so quiet. I don't know why.
I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, and I'm bad. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, and it looks like you've been had. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, so get off my back, get out my face, 'cause I'm mean and green, and I am bad.
He got moves.
Save your hide. You wanna see tomorrow? You better step aside. You better take a tip, boy. Want some good advice? You better take it easy. Cause you're walking on thin ice. You don't know what you're dealing with. No, you never did. You don't know what you're looking at. But that's tough titty, kid. The lion don't sleep tonight.
You sing tough titty.
You see, that ain't fair. You see, that ain't nice. Know what I say? Up yours. Yeah! Watch me now. I'm just a mean green mother from outer
You have
space.
pants.
I'm just a mean green mother, a real disgrace, and you got me fighting mad. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, gonna trash your ass, gonna rock this place. I'm mean and green, and I am bad. You know I don't come from no black lagoon. I'm from past the stars and beyond the moon. You can keep the thing, keep the it. Keep
So I
the
wonder,
picture,
does
they
he
don't
eat
need
Audrey in this version too? I'll tell you what happens in the stage play. I think it
killer bugs.
unfolds differently than this one because I don't think this is a song.
So better move it out. Nature calls. You got the point. I'm gonna bust your balls.
He almost busted his balls. He almost busted his balls.
Here it comes. I'm mean and green. I'm mean and green. I'm mean and green.
Oh, he growing everywhere. Oh, does he just destroy the house? They don't live in a townhome, do they? It's not like the first floor of a townhome, right? I know they have a basement. No, they did have. Did they have upstairs? Thinking about the structural damage.
And I am so bad.
Rick Moranis, no! Bro, the mouth of this thing is crazy, man. That's an insane puppet. How did they get his lips to move like that? Oh, he spits out the glasses. Oh my god. He's gone! He's gone! Say more! Oh, interesting! Okay, there's still more, there's still more. This is still, it's the same end goal as the stage play ending, but the stage version ends differently. The plot beats are a little bit different. I'll walk you through it in a second.
Subsequent to the events you have just witnessed.
Let me make this louder so you can hear it.
Events in cities across America. Events which bore ones you have just seen begin occurring. Ooh, subsequent to the events you have just witnessed, unsuspecting jerks from Maine to California made the acquaintance of a new breed of fly trap and got sweet talked into feeding it blood. Thus the plants worked their terrible will, finding jerks who would feed them their fill, as the plants proceeded to grow and grow and began what they came here to do, which was essentially to eat clean earth and divide and Peoria.
Oh my god. That's sick. Wow. That's sick. Wait, we need a sequel. We need a sequel that's like pure horror. Okay, wait. Oh my god. It's so cool. That's so cool. Wait, I need this. Just give me like 45 minutes of this. Give me a short story. I'd eat it up. I'd eat it up. Get the fanfictions now? Fanfictions? Imagine watching this. They had no, it was in VHS, right? Where would you be able to watch this? This was supposed to be the ending, I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is like a higher budget than the ending that we got, so I feel like maybe it just tested so negatively with audiences, they're like, we gotta make a new one. Instead of doing this, it's like, okay, we're gonna... Like, it seemed like they were pretty set on this, and I wouldn't say like tapped on the other one, but it seems like this one took a lot more effort. Like, look at this. They have a whole outside set. They got stuff being destroyed. They for sure wanted this to be the original. They wanted this to be the ending. Yeah, they totally... They're like, okay, wait, guys, we need to come up with like a happier ending because people don't like this one. Which, I mean, you know, if you're not expecting a happy ending, sure. Just like, wait, everybody dies and the world gets destroyed? At the end of my dark horror romantic musical? Comedy musical? What do you mean? I mean, it's just a lot of destruction at the end. It's just... It's been like, what? It's like 4 minutes of destruction. The dog! What the dog doing? Okay, as long as they sing to me as I'm being eaten alive, I might be okay with it. It sounds like they all have that soulful, buttery voice. Get him! the Statue of Liberty. It is tragic, right? It's a lot of destruction. The end, finally. I looked at the time, I was like 11 minutes. Damn. Okay, my mouse is acting up a little bit. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, there we go. How long? They stopped singing. They stopped singing 5 minutes. The introduction ended like 5 minutes ago. They just had 5 minutes of just New York City getting destroyed. Yeah, that's the ending. That is the ending of the dark ending of the movie. Let me walk you through the original ending, okay? Just unmute this. I'm gonna go back over here. It is a Bender ending, but they're missing falling action. I think the story in general just ends kind of abruptly. Let's see. I wrote it down. Wait, let me also adjust the BGM music again. Okay, hopefully that's okay. Okay, couple things. Let me tell you how these characters died, alright? The dentist. There's no Bill Murray scene, or as my mom would say, what would you call him? Murray Williams? There's no Bill Murray scene. Of course, I think he's just there for Steve Martin, and I mean, it was really funny. I was hoping that we would see that on the stage play, but we didn't, which is okay. Because the dentist plenty made up for it. I would say the dentist kind of had that like manic energy that the masochist had, the masochist patient. The dentist died. He had a very long, drawn-out death from the laughing gas. You think he's gonna die, and then he like, you know, like right, and then he breaks back out into song, and then he starts laughing again, and then he finally you know. His death scene was super duper long, actually, because he's you know, high off the laughing gas, so he's doing like some kind of physical humor, pretending that he's rowing a boat. He's like playing with like the tools against the grate and stuff, and like trying to get Seymour's just sitting there watching him. And I was like, I don't think it's like this drawn out in the movie. I felt it could have been like 10 minutes long or something. You know, like him dying could have like taken 10 minutes. Let's see. Do you know that the first Little Shop of Horrors, the guy that comes at the dentist is Jack Nicholson? Really? Wait, so they do have like the masochist dentist and... No, not masochist, sorry. The masochist, like the patient? Is that the masochist patient you're talking about? Or is the dentist himself Jack Nicholson? I know that they talked about a couple years ago. I remember they said that they were gonna like do a new version of the movie, which I'm totally open to. I think if they sort of come out now, I think it could be a hit, depending on how they execute it, of course. But I think it's like campy and silly enough, and like I think it hits all the right beats to resonate with people today. It'd be nice to have it introduced to a new audience. Oh, so they did have the masochist that goes to the dentist. Oh, okay. Alright. So I guess it's like a movie edition. I wish that they added, or they had that in the play. I was really looking forward to it. So I remember when I watched the movie, I thought that was super funny. It's his first performance? What? That's crazy. The black and white. Oh, it's a non-musical version. It's really good. Oh, that's interesting. And from 1960. Maybe I'll have to give it a watch on my own time and report back to it with you guys. I'm curious to see how they, you know, move the story along without the song. So I feel like even when I was watching the play, I thought it was very song-heavy. Like it felt like, you know, I feel like it was like song after song after song. Like you would have a very brief room for actual dialogue, but it definitely felt like a lot of it was told through song. Seymour's even more pathetic in the 1960. I kind of like him being a little pathetic. I feel like Rick Moranis played him pathetic, but like I said, the stage play, Graham Phillips, Ben 10. Ben 10 played him definitely like, actually, I think it's the voice too, but I think the mannerisms as well. Definitely, actually. What was I saying before that? Happy ending. Oh, right. Let me tell you how everybody died. The dentist, he had a super long death scene, but it was pretty much the same. He died from the laughing gas, gets chopped up. I was surprised that they showed Seymour chopping him up in the movie. But they did like have like, you know, body parts and stuff, right? But it was mostly just like a leg, right? With like a shoe on there. The leg with like the pants still on there. You don't really see it. In the stage play, they literally had like a bucket with like his hands. You know, you can see like the skin and everything. He's tossing that in there. He tossed the heart in there. He tossed like a long intestine in there. I was like, ew. That's what I was like, wait, this is kind of gross, you know? This is where the horror parts comes in. Oh, even when they went to the dentist too, like I said, they brought down the bloody curtain to show like, oh, we're in a different set without really changing the set. They had like these crazy like red lights and stuff, and it really set the mood. The lighting was phenomenal. I saw one of you guys in here earlier said it must have been really fun to see this on the stage. I think, you know, when you have, it's like super immersive, I guess, in a way, because you do have like the music being there in your ear, like it's right there, right? It's blasting. And then you also have all of the lighting and stuff. I think when Seymour kills the dentist, they had like, you know, like a lightning kind of effect, like flashing lights for a while. It definitely parts felt like evil and spooky, and I was like, oh wow. When they were setting up the dentist office too, the urchins were sometimes moving the set pieces around, so they were coming out in like were they in nurses outfits? I don't know, something, I don't know, it just felt like the vibes were a little bit scary, you know? It was really fun. It felt like a scary like Disney park ride. Tower of Terror kind of feel. Let's see. Mr. Mushnick, actually, his death hit much harder in the play. And it's because in the movie, right, he's the one who spots Seymour like chopping up the body. In the play, I don't think he knows. He didn't know. He had his suspicions, but he didn't know. This part got cut from the movie, but he actually begged on his hands and knees. Through song, he begged Seymour, I want you to be my son, because he overheard Seymour and the dentist. The dentist was telling Seymour, you know, if you take that plant out of here, you go on tour, like, you know, you go somewhere that's not Skid Row, imagine how much money you can make. Seymour's like, oh, I don't know if I could do that, but, you know, Mr. Mushnick doesn't hear that. He doesn't hear that at all. He thinks like, oh my god, I gotta get Seymour to stay, because if he leaves, if that plant leaves, that's over. I'm going back to being broke. Oh, I know. I'm gonna ask Seymour to be my son. I'm gonna ask him if I can adopt him. We can name our place Mushnick and Sons. And, you know, he tugs at Seymour's heartstrings in song. He's like, come on, it means so much to me. Like, you've always been like a son to me. Seymour's like, but you treated me like shit, you know? He's like, what do you mean? I let you, like, wait, did he? I mean, I guess Seymour knows that he's being treated like shit, but I think he also is like very thankful for Mr. Mushnick's like generosity. They did have, I forgot who mentioned it, if it was Seymour or Mr. Mushnick, but he slept under like the clerk desk, like the desk where the cash register is. He's like, you let me sleep under there and stuff. I was like, this poor guy. All he does is just like clean up, and I mean, he's basically a Cinderella. But yeah, Mr. Mushnick is like, oh, come on, like I've always saw you as a son. He's like, but you always call me trash. He's like, well, you know, that's what dads do. And he literally threatens to hold his breath until Seymour says yes or gives him an answer. Seymour thinks about it for like a good 30 seconds, and he's like, all right, fine, I'll do it. And he's really excited to be Mushnick's son. And just like, man, Mushnick only adopted this guy because he wants to keep the money. he wants to keep Seymour around for profit. So I think it kind of makes Mushnik's death a little bit more, I don't know, like you kind of don't feel bad for him because you're like, that was a dick move. But then you're also just like, man, Seymour led his father figure to death. Like somebody who, he adopted him and he was calling him dad, you know? He was so happy. I think Seymour was kind of conflicted. Mushnik, he realized because he saw like blood splatters on the floor, and he was talking about how he saw stuff in the trash too, like how they don't pick up the trash often in Skid Row, and he saw like the bloody dentist uniform. He's like, you know, at first I saw it, I didn't think much of it, but like now the pieces are starting to come together. And Seymour is like, oh no, like I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Something, I forgot how he got him off his trail, but he tells Mushnik to go in to Audrey 2's mouth because that's where he keeps the safe for the receipts for when they like cash out checks or whatever. Mushnik is like, oh really? And he's like, yeah, you know, it's like the safest place to be, I assumed, inside of the plant's mouth. Audrey 2 opens up his big old mouth and Mushnik just steps inside, and then yeah, he's just like, wait, no, and you know, Seymour's just standing there like, oh god. So that was also another difference. I don't know how Audrey 1 dies in the movie. Does she just get eaten in the movie, I wonder? In the play, when she gets lured into the flower shop, so in the movie, this is like when she's getting the phone call, right? But in the play, she's just outside of the flower shop. I forgot the reason why. I think she wanted to talk to Seymour about something. I don't remember why. But, you know, she's like, oh, who's there? The plant keeps singing. He's like, oh, it's me. Come in here. Either way, Audrey 2 lured in Audrey 1. She's like, oh my god, the plant's singing. Like, this can't be real. He's like, oh, it's real. And it's like, you should join your dentist boyfriend and Mr. Mushnik in here. And then she's like, what? Huh? But she doesn't have a lot of time to think because he's like, you know, trying to eat her. She kind of gets like halfway in his mouth, just like the movie, but this is where it diverges. Seymour comes in, rushing in. He's like, no, let go of her. He's pulling her out. He saves her, but I think she's like badly injured. She has enough in her for one more song, and it's like very tongue-in-cheek the way she dies, because she's like, what did she say? She's like, oh, when I die, which will happen very shortly, right? That's kind of the difference. Let's see. She's like, oh, Seymour, he told me about like the dentist and Mr. Mushnik being in there. Like, what is he talking about? And then Seymour is like, oh, Audrey, like I shouldn't have gotten ourselves into this. Like, this is such a mess. And you're like, yeah, I fed them to to Audrey 2. And he's thinking like, oh, she's not gonna like that. And she's like, no, like I'm told. She's actually like kind of cool with it. Like, I agree. Like, yeah, that was the right thing to do. But she knows that she's gonna. This is when she says like, and when I die, which will happen very soon, like there's only one thing that I can do for you and give to you in return. He's like, I don't want to do terrible things to you, Audrey. She's like, I want you to. I want you to do terrible things to me. So when I die very soon, I want you to feed me to the plant. So that way, when I'm with the plant, I can be with you forever. It'll be like, you know, you can take care of me. She has this song where I think it's probably Somewhere That's Green. Oh, that's such a nice tie together that they missed out on in the movie, because it's the Somewhere That's Green reprise, right? But the Somewhere That's Green where she can go into is the plant, is Audrey 2. Because she wants Seymour to take care of her. Even if she can't physically be there, her spirit will still be there with him through the plant. And like, you know, like she doesn't feel like she's a good enough girl for him. So she wants to, you know, keep the plant alive so that way Seymour can keep being successful, get his little TV show, all that kind of stuff. That's like her idea of supporting him. I think that hits a little bit harder in the play. But, you know, she gives her little song, her little reprise. And then, you know, it's a very dramatic, like, blah, you know, death. Seymour sadly picks her up, places her in the plant. She gets eaten bada bing, bada boom. That's the end of Odd Dream 1. And then I think Seymour. What happened after that? I don't know, like, what caused. I think he was just upset with the plant or something. I know that he was, I don't know, he probably wanted to go through with the plan. I don't know, but he gets like a machete and he's like, you know what, I think maybe this is it. I can't do this anymore. Like, you know, you took everything that I love. Like, this is awful. I don't want to be like, I don't want to live like this. So he takes a machete. He's like, I'm gonna kill you from the inside. He does try to shoot the plant first. He does try to put rat poison on the plant. Nothing works. He gets the machete and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Audrey 2 opens their mouth and he just runs straight in. And instead of Seymour's glasses being spit out, the machete gets spit out, and that's the end of everybody. That's the end of everybody, how they all die. He didn't make the deal with the guy who wanted to sell the plants and say it's gonna be bigger than hula hoops, but the guy was like, think about it, I'll come back later, right? And he does come back later with the urchins. He tells the urchins to, like, you know, gather the plant leaves and they'll start selling it everywhere. And yeah, from there it's basically the same as like the movie thing that we watched, except they didn't show the aftermath. They just told it through like the story, and then they also had a the extra song where everybody is singing together, and that's the part that I uploaded onto our Discord. If you're not in our Discord already, you can scan the QR code to join our next movie night. You can also see some videos that I upload every once in a while, videos and photos of my adventures out in the city. The ! Discord to take a look. Alright, I'm gonna pull it up right now. I just gotta find it. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay, don't yell at me because I'm using light mode, okay? I have my reasons. Alright, I don't owe you an explanation. Okay. I'm gonna make this bigger, right? So this is the end song. Sorry, my computer's like so slow lately. Wait. I want the song too. I want the audio as well. I didn't get much because they were very strict on like, oh, don't record anything. And like, even though usually at the end you can like take a photo or something, or like take a video of them bowing, at least from what I've seen, I've never like had any issue with that. I've never seen other people have issue with that, but I was like, I don't know, still a little scared. I'm still a little scared. But yeah, you have everybody. Sorry, this is so odd. Look, it's not even, oh god. It's so odd. Just go in the Discord and watch it. Just go in the Discord and watch it. I don't know why it's like this. I cleaned out my PC like literally yesterday. I moved so much stuff. I deleted so much stuff. Wait, wrong song. Which channel? It's in the Boomers channel. If you scroll up a little bit. Actually, here, let me... If I forward this and put this in here again. Boomers. Okay. Let's see. Bump for those watching the live. Okay. There it is. Alright, I bumped it. So you can just go in there and watch it yourself. It's an awful video too, by the way. But at the end, they do have, like, everybody who got eaten by the plant is like the baby plant. Like, their head is in the plant, you know? And I was thinking, like, wait a second, if the dentist got cut up, like, can he, like, move around? You know? He for sure got dismembered. Like... I mean, maybe it's just their head in there. Maybe the rest of their body got eaten. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty silly. Let's see. What other notes do I have? I'm gonna go ahead and close the poll too. 50% of you guys said he's a victim. Seymour is a victim. I should have put why did I put is he? Is Seymour. 12% say he's a villain, and 38% say he's pathetic. I agree. I mean, I feel like I'm leaning towards pathetic and kind of a villain. Like, sure, I know he wants to escape his circumstances. They gotta leave Skid Row. But you don't have to keep the plant. You don't have to keep the plant, actually. I don't think they touch on this in the movie, but in the play, he does talk about like how the plant, I think the plant doesn't want like beef or like, you know, he needs fresh live food. I don't even think he wants to eat rats. Does he get fed rats? I don't think so, because I remember thinking like, why doesn't he feed him rats? But I don't think that's like what he wanted to eat. I don't know if they mentioned that or not, actually. Let's see, what else do I have? What else do I have here? I mean, yeah, I think if you ever get the chance to go see the stage production, even if it's not like, you know, the Broadway or off-Broadway play, if it's even just like the local version of it, I think it's such a good vibe. It's such a good vibe. Like the story is fun. If you see in the Discord that video, you can see the lights, right? You can see the lights. It's actually, I don't know. I just think that it really elevates the story, seeing it as a live performance. And of course the changes, I think, or I mean not the change. I think they cut like stuff out of the movie that is keeps the movie like, you know, fast and watchable. But I think it's worth watching to see how it gets incorporated on the stage play too. I had a lot of fun watching it. A lot of fun seeing the differences between the two. What else did I want to say? Yeah. Oh, how about this? The ending. Do you guys have a preference for the ending? Which ending do you prefer? Happy ending? Redemption? Or original ending? Devastation? I feel like if I had to vote, I would put down, I like the original ending. And I think it's just because it's like very clear from the movie version, at least, that you know, it doesn't, I don't think it really like ties in with the rest of the story as neatly as the original ending does, which is really, if they could, I don't know, actually, I was gonna say if they could like make the happy ending work, but I think you can only make the happy ending work if you make Seymour a little bit more of a victim. I think it's like very debatable if he deserves a happy ending or not. Like he did, especially like in the stage play, like he killed his own father. Sure, his father didn't want to be his father for like, you know, his father only wanted his adopted dad only adopted him because of greedy, selfish reasons. But still, Seymour didn't know that. He still saw this guy as his father figure. I don't think he like he didn't know that at all. He's like, wow, this guy wants to really adopt me, the guy who like raised me ever since I was an orphan. Wow, even though he did treat me like shit, he loves me. I'm gonna feed him to the plant. Let's see. In the beginning, I would say like pretty much the first half of the movie was almost beat for beat the same. Especially like the opening scene was nearly exactly the same as the stage play. So it was really fun to see like that differences too. I don't know. If I had to pick which one I do like more, I will have to go with the play. I will have to go with the play. Even though it does feel a lot longer, and I don't know if it's because I thought the intermission was the end, even though they didn't even sing Suddenly Seymour, it didn't even clock to me. I was like, oh, is that it? That was kind of... I thought it was only an hour and a half. I think it's actually closer to 2 hours, 15 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. Watching live shows is just a lot more draining, and I wonder why. I do feel like there's parts of it where like before the intermission, I remember like not my attention was drifting, but you know, when I came back after like it was like 15 minutes intermission, I came back, sat back down, and they got back into the groove of things. I was like, wow, that was actually really needed. I wonder what makes it like a little bit more heavy to watch. Maybe it's because like you don't really have a lot of scene changes, so it doesn't really feel like you're getting like to breathe. I mean, I don't know, to breathe as much? I don't know. It's definitely a little bit more tiring, but in a good way, in a fun way. And it's so much fun to like listen to live singing too. I had a really good time watching it. I really like the movie and the play. I love the play. I like the movie, I think is what I'll say. I'm trying to think. What else? Do you guys have any questions for me? Or do you guys have anything that you want to say about the movie? It was an easy out. That's very true. Seymour is taking the easy way out of Skid Row. So, should he be rewarded for trying to take a, I mean, in a way, Audrey 2 is sort of like a devil, right? A devil trying to tempt him into the sin, the cardinal sin of murder. Audrey 2 should be working at the Demon HQ. Audrey 2 needs to be collecting the reef out there. He should have known better. He was down on Skid Row after all. Right? Nothing is gonna come that easy. He's just walking past Mr. Chang's like a florist shop, buying a weird plant, and suddenly a solar eclipse and something just magically appears on Skid Row. Get out of here. Get out of town. It brings him everything that he wishes and dreams. In the play too, I don't think they said this in the movie, but in the play, Audrey 2 was like, who do you think like made all of that happen? You know, all of this luck turning around for you, the girl wanting you, you know, all the success. Like, who do you think made that happen? Which, I mean, I don't know if he meant that literally, like people are only here for me, but it did kind of feel like he meant like he was, you know, pulling some sort of cosmic strings behind the scenes. And when we were watching the movie and he had that first guy who walks in, the very first customer walks in, he sort of had like this sort of like dazed appearance, right? Like he was just sort of not, like he was possessed. He had like this possessed vibe to him. I was like, oh, are they gonna, you know, touch on that here? But I don't, I guess not. Audrey 2 totally just like messing with people. That's true. He could have just ate them. But he was like, no, you can feed me. I mean, but then again, that's kind of a move, right? Thanks to him, thanks to Audrey 2, he was able to like successfully overtake the world with his plant species by spreading his literal seed. I just remember the voice of Audrey 2. Levi Stubbs. Kind of wish he was in more stuff, but I do remember him playing Mother Brain in Captain N of all things. Mother Brain. Mother Brain. Ooh, ooh. It's a freaky looking thing. Let's see. Levi Stubbs. He was in, oh yeah, Little Shop of Horrors. It seems like that's really like the big thing that he was in. Captain and the Master Game. Oh yeah, he really is not in a lot of stuff. Oh, he's from Detroit. Detroit. Let's see, who played Audrey 2 in the musical was played by Major Attaway. And I think Major Attaway was in... Oh man, they had something that I recognize him in, but... Let's see. Oh my gosh, this guy's in a lot of stuff. Okay. Alright, let me take a look. Let me take a look at his... He's like... Not just on Broadway, but like as a voice actor too. He was really good. Oh, he was Genie! Genie in the musical Aladdin, which I haven't seen. The Broadway musical of Aladdin, but I see his face all the time on the billboards and the advertisements. This guy's been in anime. He's been in One Piece. He's been in Pokemon. What's he in? Oh, he did Queen and Uro Uge and additional voices in One Piece. Arcadios and Fairy Tail. Murdoch and Pokemon Horizon. It seems like he's like here and there in anime. Additional voices mostly. Ghost in the Shell, OVA. Psychopaths, One Piece, Pokemon the movie, Secrets of the Jungle. Anyways. Diving into this guy's filmography. Anyways, yeah. This old Nintendo cartoon. Oh, you know, I did see like the poster on the Google. A cartoon that looked less scary, and then I saw like a pixel game that looked quite scary. I wonder if I'm thinking maybe I've got a different mother brain result. I don't know. It looked kind of freaky. Anyways, let's see. I think that's really all that I had to say about this movie. Yeah. I think the play ties everything together a lot more neatly, which makes sense. It is the original.
Mr. Bug03 subscribe to the channel.
Mr. Bug, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Welcome to Boomer Summit. Welcome. The Metroid game. Oh, so it's a Metroid game. That makes sense. It does look like Metroid graphics. It can be quite freaky. Yeah, that mother brain was a little crazy. All right. Let's see. We had 33% of you guys prefer the original ending where Seymour gets redemption. And 67% of you guys prefer the original ending where Seymour gets a devastation. I'll have to add one vote to devastation. Like I said, I really don't think Seymour deserves a happy ending after everything that he's done. Especially like, I don't know, maybe in the movie version, maybe a little bit more, but I feel like in the play he has a little bit more like agency, it feels like. It could also just be because I want to put Rick Moranis in my pocket. He's such... he's so cute. Yeah, that's, you know, we ended up yapping a little bit longer than I wanted to, but, you know, it's cool. It's like I said, this is a test run. It's a test run for when we start Succession Sundays next week. Ooh, wow, you guys can finally experience one of my favorite shows of all time, and I hope that it feels like, you know, once we finish it, even if we just finish one season, that it feels like we experienced something together. We're gonna go season by season. We'll do the whole first season, and then we'll do an interest check to see if you guys are still into it. And yeah, if we continue all 4 seasons, we should be done by the end of the year. But the idea is that we're so today we did the watch along, and then immediately after we did our discussion, our after show. I don't think we'll do that for Succession, just because I want to give people time to participate in the discussion if they want to, or like, you know, sit and lurk if they want to, and give them more time to watch the episodes. So what we'll do next time is we'll watch Succession next week, and then the week after that, when we stream Sunday morning, we'll have a stream after that Sunday morning stream, so I guess a Sunday afternoon stream, where we will do a discussion, I guess like a pre-show for Succession. Talk about the last episodes, talk about like what we're predicting for the next episode. I also want to do like character stocks. I don't know like how exactly I'm gonna work it out, but it might just be like a poll that we're gonna see change every single day. I don't know. But in this show, you're gonna love a character in one episode and hate them the next. So we're gonna take bets and see who we think is going to succeed by the end. If you're not familiar with this show, I have no way to explain this in a way that's gonna make it sound fun and interesting. People say it's like Game of Thrones meets, I don't know, like the newsroom or something. You have the dad. You have dad Logan Roy, who's built his whole media empire. He's had a troubled past, childhood, really. You don't really hear too much about it, but he's passed on that trauma to his kids. He's a real nasty, mean old man. Hates his kids because they don't live up to the standard that he sets them to. The thing is, Logan Roy is a man who would always change the goalposts. So he has a health scare, which kicks off the whole show. He has a health scare, and he's like, well, okay, I gotta pick somebody who's gonna succeed me, but all my kids are dumbasses, so I'm just gonna make them fight for it, and we'll see if they get it. So yeah, you have him and his 3 kids, but he has 4 kids, but the first one's from another marriage. His 3 kids are all fighting over daddy's coveted golden throne, the CEO seat. And you have them in the running. You have maybe like some outside people who are like coming in and out who are in the running. You have his daughter's husband, who's like kind of in the running. And he has his little male wife, Greg, too, who's, some people think he's in the running. Anything can happen in this show, so it's really fun. It's really fun to just like, I don't know, talk about all the characters. I'm really like a character-driven kind of person, so you know, things like this I really eat up. But yeah, we'll be watching that next week. Besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and find somebody to raid for the second time of the day. How fun. Let me just bring it up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's movie night. I had a lot of fun watching this with you guys, and I look forward to doing more in the future. Let's go ahead and send the raid over to who's live right now. Let's send the raid over to let's send the raid over to Kagami Furi. You know, it's funny. This morning we sent a raid over to Sky, who was playing Uma Musume. We're gonna send the raid over to Furi, who's also playing Uma Musume today. So we're doing 2 Uma Musume raids. I swear it wasn't planned. But yeah, I think it'd be nice to raid Furi. Yes. Plays usually give more time to flesh out their stories. Yeah, there is a lot more time to flesh out the story. I think the play has like another 30 minutes on the movie. And then like I said, it's really fun that nobody is off screen, right? So you always have somebody to look at, and like you can look at like how they react to things and get like little morsels of character exposition. That's me eating the morsels. Anyways, if you've been sitting down for as long as I have, make sure you give your body a nice big stretch. Don't forget to stay hydrated and treat yourself to something nice. The work week starts once again tomorrow. The long weekend is over. I hope you feel nice and rested if you had a long weekend this week. And I'm wishing you a speedy week ahead. I'll be seeing you this weekend as per usual. We will be doing Assassin's Creed Black Flag on Friday. We'll also be doing something on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if I put anything down there yet or not. Oh, Minecraft on Saturday, and maybe either a hand cam stream on Sunday, or maybe go do more Super Auto Pets. I don't know, but yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Thank you guys so much for watching this movie with me. If you want to join our next Discord movie night, which I guess will just be Discord Succession Sunday night, we could scan the QR code or link in the description and do !Discord. Oh, if you also didn't know, all Lucid Multimedia merch is up on our merch store. Feel free to do !merch. I'll do that right now, actually. If you'd like the link, you also go to shop.welcometolucid.com. I'm pretty sure. I hope so, because I've been saying that all day. To take a look at our merch. If there's one thing that I'll recommend from my end, I do like my chibi keychain a lot. I think it's really cute. I would also have to recommend, if I'm not shilling my own stuff, the lucid tea. The lucid tea is so good. Okay, it's so good. I would recommend that one as well. But yeah. Until next time, take care. Bye. I picked the wrong screen. Did you see that? The VRB screen. Anyways, yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. All day today, basically. We hung out this morning. We hung out in the evening, and now we're hanging out here at night. hanging out. God. Okay, it's time for me to stop talking. Bye.